Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about the phone intake. Once you've completed the course and your fingerprints are done, you can obtain clients. And the very first step is getting those phone calls. People will find you on the courts list. Attorneys will find you on the list and call you and give you a referral. We also get referrals from DCFS or Child Protective Services. So today we're going to go over and kind of role play, if you will, the phone intake. And I'm going to share my screen here with you. Give me a second. There we go, share screen. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this. When a client calls you, the very first thing they want to know is your fee. What do you charge? They're going to want to get an answer within 2 seconds. I need supervised visitations. What do you charge? Well, every case is different. Every case has different facets to it. Some people have one child, some people have four, some people have two kids, yet it's an SA or sexual abuse case. So the price isn't just one price. Plus, different counties have different prices. So you want to think about the demographics of your own county, and I'll be giving you case scenarios. Plus, I have a list of calls that just came in of live case scenarios that people could ask you. So when they call you and ask for your services and what you charge, just say, sure, I would love to help you. Let me ask you a few questions. Do you have a court order? If they do not have a court order, you cannot supervise the visits. Just like getting medicine from a pharmacy without a piece of paper, we cannot monitor visits without a referral source. Write these down. A referral source is either a court order, a letter from their attorney, a letter from a paralegal or a mediated agreement from a mediator, a letter from a family therapist, or a referral from DCFS Child Protective Services. They have to have an order because we don't take notes for parents. So every now and again, you'll have a parent that calls you and they don't have a court order and they're going to say, will you please monitor my visits because I don't want to be accused of this or that. We can't. They need to find a professional order because we don't take notes for parents. That would make us unbiased. We would be literally working for them, taking notes for them. That's just not possible. So do you have a court order? Yes, good. We abbreviate it C/O. So when you're taking notes, let me see if I can get a good one here. When you're taking notes, I just write C/0 or O. A restraining order is R/O. Do you have a court order? Is there a restraining order? Now don't change the tone of your voice. 98% of our cases have restraining order. It's not that abnormal, but we want to know so that we would know the distance for drop off and pickup. That's why we want to know about the restraining order and what the concerns are for the custodial parent once we get to intake. So we want to ask, do you have a court order? Is there a restraining order? Are there any other orders? Substance abuse, allegations of child abuse or sexual abuse? How many children do you have? How old are the children, right? You're going to be alone with these kids 10 minutes before a visit and 10 minutes after a visit. You'd want to know how difficult that's going to be if you're with 2-year-olds versus 10 and 11-year-olds. What city are the visits going to take place in? Very important. When I was a new monitor, I was so eager to get a case. I had somebody call and I charged a low amount, maybe $40 in Riverside County. I found out it was at the north end of San Bernardino County, which is nearly an hour drive for me. So I learned the hard way. I had to honor the price that I had quoted. But ever since then, you always ask, what city will the visits take place in? And the city is usually near where the kids live. So you don't want it to be in the same neighborhood or a park right down their street. That would be unsafe. But so if somebody lives in Orange, if the visiting parent lives in Orange County and the custodial parent lives in San Bernardino, then the visits should be closer to San Bernardino. Sometimes our parents get along and they will meet halfway. Other times they fight, and we always say, you know what, we want to get the kids home for normal homework time and a normal sleep routine. So we usually have the visits closer to them. So you could choose like Rialto or Fontana if they're willing to meet somewhere. Custodial parents willing to drive a little. If they're not, then meet in Redlands, San Bernardino, right on the cusp of San Bernardino, Redlands. That would be good. So once you have all of that information, then you can quote a price. So let's say you're in Redlands and a person has 2 children, and they have a court order, restraining order, nothing else. 2 children, I would charge $45 an hour and $45 for the intakes. And the intake is for the appointment to conduct the paperwork, which can take 30 minutes to an hour. I wouldn't suggest an hour, but my intakes usually take about 30 minutes. So again, these are the questions you're going to ask your clients before quoting them a price. Once you've quoted them a price, you're going to say, okay, there is a one-time intake fee of $45 that's going to be paid in cash for the intake appointment, and your visits will be $45 an hour. If you would like to move forward, the next step is to contact the other parent. Do you have that parent's name and number? If they have a restraining order with a no contact order, they might not have the custodial parent's phone number. So ask them for the attorney's phone number and get the full name of the custodial parent. You cannot call an attorney's office and say, I'm calling to, on behalf of my client, to talk to Vanessa about scheduling visitations. They would laugh at you. So get the full name of the custodial parent and the attorney's name. Call the attorney's office and say, I'm calling on behalf of Steve Valdez, getting in touch with your client, Vanessa Valdez, as to scheduling supervised visitations. If they don't have attorneys, maybe you can call the mom, the grandma, a relative that would have the custodial parent's name or number. Once we schedule the intake with the custodial parent, then we'll call back and talk to the visiting parent and schedule their visit or their intake appointment. And then be friendly. Remember, this is a business call. When they first call you, it's more of a sales call. You're selling yourself. You're selling your services, and you want to be professional and you want to get the case. So again, phone rings, hello. I'm going to give you some real case scenarios here. Yeah, I need visitations. Okay, do you have a court order? Yes, 4 hours on Saturday. Is there a restraining order? Yes, there is. How many children do you have? 1 child, he's 11. Okay, what city will the visits take place in? I think Palmdale, but I'm in Los Angeles. Okay, well, your visits are going to be $50 an hour, and there is a one-time intake fee of $45 for each parent to complete the paperwork. Once the paperwork is completed, we can schedule a visit. Oftentimes, this can all be done in one day if everyone's available, meaning the custodial parent's available, the children are available, you're available, and the monitor's available. Okay, next scenario. Lady calls in. I ask her if she has a court order. Yes. Restraining order. Yes. It's in San Marcos, which is North County, San Diego. She has 3 children, ages 8, 10, and 14. That lets me know it's going to be fairly easy. We're not talking 2-year-olds or 3-year-olds. She meets every other weekend from 12 to 3. And I said, okay, well, your visits will be $55 an hour, and there is a one-time intake fee of $45 to complete the paperwork. Once the paperwork is complete, we can schedule a visit. Next case scenario. This person was from Los Angeles. They have a baby, 7-month-old. They have a court order. They have a restraining order. They have 4 hours a week. So that was quoted at $60 per hour and $45 for the intakes. Here's one. They have a court order, a restraining order, Los Angeles. They have 3 children in the South Bay area. $55 an hour. That must have been prior to COVID. Now that would be about $65 an hour. There's few monitors working out there because of COVID, understandably so. So people are having difficulty finding monitors. And so now monitors are able to charge, about $5 more per hour. Here's one. It's in Hemet. The visits will be done in Temecula because that's where the children live. They have 3 children, ages 2, 9, and 7. They get up to 3 hours. So their visits are going to be $50 an hour and $45 for the intakes. Here is one more. Custodial father, he was calling on behalf of his ex-wife, and they have 3 children, ages 8, 4, and 5. So their visits are going to be $50 an hour. See if I have any others that I can grab quickly. Constantly I'm taking notes on papers here. So you get the gist of it. If you're in San Bernardino County, it's anywhere from $35 to $45 per hour for 1 to 2 kids. If they have 3 or 4 kids, then you would definitely charge $45 to $50 an hour. If it's a sexual abuse case, definitely $55 an hour because they cannot take their children to the restroom or change diapers. Again, that's where the age comes into play. So you ask early on, you have court order, restraining order. Oh, it's a sexual abuse case. Okay. How old are the children? 18 months and 3. You're going to be changing 2 diapers possibly, or taking the little ones to the bathroom. So you're going to charge more. It's going to be more work for you. Okay, so I hope this helped you regarding the phone intake.